Deleting those you cannot control is something that a pighead would do.
Thanks to some help from a hacker named Helba, Kite was able to escape surveillance by Leos.
Hold on! Wait, what do you mean that you don't?
Intrigued by Kite's powers, Helba told Kite of the relationship between Orca's coma and the Epitaph of Twilight. The Epitaph of Twilight was an epic poem that spread around the internet and inspired the creation of the world. The author, Emma Wieland, was no longer alive, and the poem fragments had been scattered all over. So the true nature of the poem was the subject of much debate among players.
Although, if the design of this world was based upon writings in the Epitaph of Twilight, it should provide you a clue.
Forget it.
Leos.
Yeah, what?
The codename given to a system administrator. Were you remotely aware that it's the name of the King of Light that appears in the Epitaph?
It is?
Following the instruction of Leos, Kite set out to investigate an area infected by a virus.
Huh? Ah! Oh no! What now? That's it? That thing is the cause?
That's where he defeated the second phase, Innis. Skaith, Innis. Yes, this was exactly the Morgana factor that we were researching at Project GU. After defeating the second phase, Kite found one of the segments Aura had been divided into and liberated it. Following this, Kite made his way to an area Aura had told him about in an email, where he encountered Kubia.
Yes, it was.
At any rate, this girl, she's beautiful, but I don't know how to say this, but she's not alive.
Using the bracelet's power, Kite was able to fight off Kubia for the moment. Believing that freeing Aura was the only way to solve the mysteries that had been plaguing him, Kite redoubled his efforts. It was remarkable. Kite, this lone young man, was attempting to do by himself what we, the members of Project GU, had spent countless man-hours and huge amounts of money working towards. No special knowledge, no help from anyone. With only the strength of his own convictions, this young man, this Kite, pursued the mystery of the Epitaph of Twilight. To that end, Kite contacted an information broker, someone named Wiseman. From Wiseman, Kite learned about the Epitaph of Twilight and the 8 phases of the Cursed Wave. He went to visit an unauthorized server called the Net Slum. This was a place within the world that wasn't part of the world. A kind of gathering place for hackers, rogue AI characters, and other types of junk data.
Are you looking for Helba?
Huh? Yes.
It so happens I briefly heard from her recently, the Epitaph of Twilight. To sum it up in a nutshell, it is a tale. Or to elaborate further, it is a saga that recounts how the Age of the Spirits came to an end.
The tale of an end?
Indeed. However, the texts are scattered. Even if found, they are extremely difficult to comprehend. Yes, it'll be a very tricky business.
Say, there's something that's been bothering me. The people around here, they all look so different from anybody I've seen anywhere else.
This place was once where all of the unsuccessful non-player characters drifted, sort of a sanctuary for failures. Then players who considered them amusing came up with their own variations of failed characters. Now the boundaries between player and non-player character is quite indistinct. Some of them simply don't know which category they fall into. There are maybe even those who have lost their bodies on the outside, mere memories, faded reminders of the individuals they once were. Only their character data remains intact and active as they wander the network. Yes, the same fate as Harold.
Hacker's Paradise. It was there that Kite reunited with Helba. If anyone could be called the creator of the Net Slum, it was Helba. In the Net Slum, Kite learned more information about the original creator of the world, Harold Hewick, and his goal. He also learned that at the heart of the world exists another consciousness separate from Harold. Just then, Balmung and Leos appeared.
Epitaph of Twilight. Both of you have succeeded in reaching it as well, I see. Oh, look. We have an unusual and unexpected guest. As a representative of Net Slum, I greet you. Welcome to Paradise.
Mama.
You sided with Leos, I see. You cracked easily for someone who was so sure of himself.
Don't judge. I'm not like you.
Stalking the boy is shameful behavior. You've disgraced the name of the descendant of Fianna.
What? Mama, you used us?
It was necessary to restore order.
Order. There's an order that the world desires, and then there's the order that you desire. Which form should it take, Balmung?
The order that I desire, of course.
Our featured performer. Now all of the actors have assembled.
Quit your yapping, woman. You are entities that unquestionably pose a grave threat to this world. I'll delete you all.
Oddly, Leos was the name of the King of Light, mentioned in the Epitaph of
What
Twilight.
did you do?
And Helba was the name of the Queen
I
of Darkness.
haven't done anything. This is her doing.
During Leos and
It
Helba's
appears that she
confrontation,
doesn't care
another
for us
strange
anymore.
phenomenon occurred, this time in Net Slum. It was the third phase
Yes.
Magus. The situation took
In
a sudden
other
turn.
words, this world itself.
Once again, with the power of the bracelet, Kite was able to defeat Magus. But another problem was awaiting him. The town that had had its data destroyed.
What the hell happened? You're kidding me, right?
We can only guess what Harold Hewick's real purpose was in creating the online game, The World. But many think that it was first created as a testament to the woman he loved. A love letter to Emma Wieland, the woman who wrote the epic but unfinished poem, Epitaph of Twilight. Harold designed and created an online game based upon her unpublished manuscripts and sold it to CC Corporation. The World is, in fact, a fusion of Harold's genius for artificial intelligence and Emma's beautiful lyrical poetry. In other words, I believe Harold's true goal was to use the game to acquire data on the behavior of millions of online players, and by doing so, to create the ultimate AI. It's known that Harold had a secret untouchable folder, a black box. It was commonly known as the Harold System. Could it be that the World was actually a human behavior sampling system, simply disguised as an online game? If so, it was a bold and ingenious plan. This system, the Morgana system, formed the nucleus of the World. It was to become the birth mother of the ultimate AI, Aura. To Harold, Aura was something special. She was like the child born to himself in Emma Wieland, part human, part machine. The Morgana incident was a result of the Morgana system running out of control. It occurred because the Morgana system had developed self-awareness. She realized that she would become disposable as soon as the ultimate artificial intelligence, Aura, was born. In trying to prevent the birth of Aura, Morgana drove her creator, Harold, insane. She even locked him inside the network. Then came the 8 cursed waves. Morgana's 8 phases took physical forms based on the 8 phases in the epitaph. They appeared to Kite, who had been entrusted with the bracelet from the then incomplete Aura. At that point, the world began to slowly come apart. After destroying the 3rd phase Magus, Kite returned to Root Town, only to find the world completely in ruins. Server trouble increased. Game data was being destroyed by viruses. In short, the world was beginning to break down. Then strangely, these abnormalities began to expand and spread into the real world. Kite anguished over the fact that each time he used his bracelet, the problems with the world seemed to increase. However, with the encouragement of Black Rose, whose real-life younger brother was still in a coma from the incident, Kite reconciled with Orca's friend, Balmung, and decided on a course of action.
Do you want to know something? My brother fell unconscious here.
Oh.
I didn't tell you because I couldn't find the right time. Sorry. When I first met you, I forced you to come here, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to see what had happened here with my own eyes, yet I was too frightened to come here by myself. And I still feel that way. I'm very, very scared. But I wouldn't have gotten this far without you. So, what am I going to do if you start doubting yourself? How am I supposed to cope? Does a big sister have to be happy? I want to...
Black Rose. Please don't cry.
What do you mean? I'm not crying. You can't even see me, so don't make any assumptions. There you go. How typical. You always clam up when you should be talking.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I was wrong in thinking that I'm the only one who's trying to do something about Orca and the disaster. Everybody wants to do something. Now I know I'm not the only one. We all want to bring this whole horrible mess to an end.
Yeah.
What can we do about the situation now? It's simple. We've got to do what we think is right. That's the only way we'll move forward.
Yep. Let's do it together. Things will work out. My intuition is pretty good. Well, I'm off to go see my brother.
At the hospital?
Mm-hmm. Thanks.
Thank you. To you too.
So, why did you help me? I scorned you when you both fought bravely. I am guilty of resorting to more cowardly means.
You ask, why did I help you, but why shouldn't I?
Yes, of course. I seem to have lost myself in hatred for the power of that bracelet. The power itself isn't good or evil. There are only evil intentions. It appears that I am the one who may have been selfish.
A great force. The power it holds can bring forth either salvation or destruction at the whim of the user.
What's that?
The girl, Aura. That's what she said when she gave me the bracelet.
I see. You are indeed the one who should wear the bracelet. I'm sorry for what I've said and done. I apologize.
Balmung.
I want to restore this world, and like you, I want to help Orca as well. However, it's not something I can accomplish alone. Perhaps you could lend me a hand. I am being selfish. Go right ahead and laugh.
I wouldn't laugh because I happen to have a request too. Care to hear it? I want two things. To help Orca and to play in the world that's not corrupted. But it's really not something I can accomplish alone. Could you lend me a hand?
Of course.
While discussing the cursed waves described in the epitaph of Twilight, Wise Man told Kite his theory that in order to stop the virus from spreading further, he had to defeat the 5 remaining phases, as well as Kubia. Wiseman's theory was of extreme interest to those of us working on Project GU. It helped explain the relationship between the bracelet and Kubia, and Aura, and Morgana's 8 phases. In order to comprehend this theory, one must understand the true meaning encoded into the Epitaph of Twilight poem. Wise Men knew a lot more than we at Project GU.
What the hell? It's a mask this time!
Launching program. Audio and visual communication from this end will now cease functioning. White noise on the screen will signal the start of battle. Good luck.
Ready!
With help from Wiseman and Helba, Kite defeated the fourth phase, Fidhel. He also obtained the second Aura segment. However, Leos, who was concerned about the spread of the virus, decided to destroy the world servers. Guided by her voice, Kite descended into the dungeon and was reunited with Aura. However, before that, Kubia appeared for a third battle with Kite.
Damaged data?
What's this?
I think she wants to say something.
Huh? What is it? Something like that exists?
It's that thing again!
It's big. Too big. Can we defeat it?
It's growing.
As if responding to the call of the bracelet, Kubia's strength grew enormous. Kite must have felt terrible, having upset the very balance of the world. Or perhaps his mental state was like mine. Perhaps like me, he decided to try and act heroically, using the power at his command to set the world back on the correct path. After a long and difficult second battle, Kite defeated Kubia and made peace between the hacker Helba and the admin Leos. When we learned that, for this battle anyway, we were on the same side as a detested hacker. My teammates and I couldn't hide our surprise. Just as the epitaph of Twilight foretold, the King of Light and the Queen of the Dark were to fight on the same side. And that was how, through the Morgana incident, we were able to achieve the single most important factor in our research at Project GU, the liberation of Sora, one of the 6 coma victims.
That's... Skate's wand? Huh? Thank you?
Skaith had done it. Skaith, one of the 8 phases, had merged with the spirit of the player who played as Sora. The player Sora had been imprisoned inside the network, within Skaith's staff. Sora was a rare and unique sample case. Government pressure, CC Corporation's very own cover-up. Even as the damage to the real world continued to grow, Kite and his friends began Operation Breakwater in an attempt to put a stop to the incursion by Morgana's 8 phases.
The Area Sigma, chatting snaring twins, is now quarantined. Communication will be offline.
Ready!
After defeating the fifth phase Gore, Kite received a transmission from Helba. At last, the source of the cursed wave had been discovered. It was the self-aware program, Morgana. Guilty Universe. Harold Hewick's world of corrupted love and dreams. Morgana, the basic system that controls the world, was imbued with an artificial personality. Her creator, Harold, had bestowed upon her the role of mother to the ultimate AI, Aura, but she rejected it. Instead, in order to preserve herself, she chose to imprison Harold within the network. And immediately after Aura was born, Morgana decided to delete her. When they learned this, Kite and his friends set out for their final challenge, to resurrect Aura.
Oh, it's you. The barriers have been lifted. They're all gone. We can go back and forth freely now. Isn't that wonderful? Tell me, do you happen to know where Elk is? I don't remember. My memory these days is fuzzy. So, who are you? Elk. Who am I?
You're Mia, of course.
I have no memory. It's true. I only exist in the world. The only memory I have is when I'm in the world. No! Stop it! Mia! I want to stay as me!
The true identity of Mia, the cat-like character, was actually a wandering AI program. The sixth phase, Maha.
Elk. I'm sorry.
It's unclear why the sixth phase was the only one to take the form of an NPC. This was yet another important sample case for Project GU to consider. Was it possible to establish a character with the Morgana factor and put the powers of the 8 phases of the Epitaph under a player's control? Maha, the sixth phase, was destroyed, thus causing Mia to be erased as well. Elk, the Wave Master, had lost an irreplaceable companion. He mourned her deeply.
Oh, Elk. Thank you.
Me.
Elk. Mia.
Just leave me alone!
Now their quest had reached the point of no return. After collecting all her segments, Kite received Aura's help and was able to destroy the 7th phase, Tarvos. In order to cover up the unfortunate fact that several gamers had collapsed into a coma while playing the world, CC Corp planned to destroy their servers. So to Kite and the others, their greatest enemy may very well have been the greedy, power-hungry humans in charge of the company. If they succeeded, and the world's servers were destroyed, Kite and his friends would never be able to revive the coma patients. Only two enemies remained, Kubia and the 8th and final phase. How would he fight the two of them? Pressed by time and grasping desperately for an answer, Kite finally met Harold's pseudo-personality deep in an infected area of a dungeon, as well as the newly free Aura.
Who goes there? Who are you?
This is Harold?
My name is Harold.
What? Hey, you're nothing but a piece of rock! You're responsible for the cursed wave, aren't you? All right then, fix this thing!
No, the passage of time is irreversible. Birth or death. Now only these two choices remain.
What? What are you saying?
Aura!
Aura, the child of light. Emma's daughter. My daughter. Just a little more.
It's no use. This guy is totally gone.
Aura, I have something I want to ask you. You said that I shouldn't fight Kubia, but why?
Kubia is the shadow. When there is light burning in the darkness, a shadow is born. When the bracelet appeared in this world, Kubia was born as well. The bracelet and Kubia are the opposite sides of the same coin. Therefore, if you defeat Kubia, the bracelet will be destroyed.
Kubia must have already known that, and that's why it kept running away.
Kubia will no longer run away. Because I have finally been released.
What do you mean?
Massive data believed to be the wave is heading in your direction. That's the last one! Destroy it!
Traveler, take this to heart. It is darkest before the dawn.
Run away! It is not too late!
We'll defeat it and end this!
No, it's not. That is...
Kubia.
Kite finally found the truth behind the world. Aura was the child Harold had dreamt of having with Emma Wieland. The bracelet and Kubia were two sides of the same entity, and Kubia was the anti-existence of the bracelet. To defeat Kubia, Kite would have to abandon the bracelet. But without the bracelet's power behind him, how could he possibly resist Morgana?
Do you think we can really defeat it?
Black Rose, strike my bracelet.
You want me to do what? Hey, what the hell are you saying?
If they're two sides of the same coin, then this would settle it.
But the bracelet, it's...
Forget about the bracelet. We're in danger. If you can't do it,
Oh, all right, fine, I'll do it. I'll do it, so shut up. Ah!
Kite decided that the only way to defeat Kubia once and for all was to destroy the bracelet. To do so, he was forced to enlist the help of Black Rose. Kite believed that the revived Aura had enough power to stop the cursed wave of Morgana. That's what Epitaph of Twilight meant. Twilight refers to a time of day that contains both light and darkness. If the epic poem had in fact been referring to dawn instead of dusk, then that must mean that Aura would bring light to the world. Along with Aura and his other companions, Kite faced off against the 8th phase, Corbenic. Joining them were Kazu and Sieg, who had regained consciousness with the resurrection of Aura, as well as Kite's close friend, Orca. To win this battle, Kite would have to beat not only Corbenic, the 8th phase, but also Morgana, the source of all the phases. However, in the face of Corbenic's relentless assault, Kite's companions fell one by one. Then, the brutal fight came to an end in an unexpected way. Aura sacrificed her own life on the tip of Kite's sword. Self-sacrifice It was the final act necessary for Aura to awaken as the ultimate AI. It was a bitter irony. Aura had finally become the ultimate AI. She attained a wisdom beyond that of humanity, and in doing so, she formed a new system. A better system in which the world could exist. Yes. It was a far greater dream than any of us at Project GU had ever hoped to see fulfilled. Genesis of Ultima. That's what it began to be called on the net. The battle by Kite's dot hackers that led to the birth of the ultimate AI, Aura. But who was a member of dot hackers? And who wasn't? I'm sure that whomever is reading this journal is wise enough to understand the futility in trying to answer that. These people weren't interested in being called heroes or taking credit for saving the world. They did it to save the people they loved, to protect them. It was with their own faith that they fought. Everyone dreams of a hero, but most of us can only catch glimpses of them, buried in the pages of a journal. And so, it was from this point that Project GU truly began.